Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the Uptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, stock index futures and commodities are currently above fair value, but not by much. It looks pretty quiet out there in the pre-market this morning. It is election day in the U.S., and unfortunately, there's no consistency across the union on how votes are counted, so it may take days before we actually know who has won the election. Now, we're still looking at what happened last Thursday and looking at the VIX. We haven't closed below or above Thursday's trading range. That was 3 bars ago. And so we do have the VIX elevated, and that, of course, can be negative for stocks. Things would change on Tuesday if the VIX were to close below 1956. Looking at the Dow 30, again, we dipped below Thursday's low, but did not close below it so far. A big winner on the Dow yesterday was Salesforce, followed by Home Depot and then Cisco. Both Home Depot and Cisco still on sell signals, no change in trend there. Intel, which was in the news yesterday, was down nearly 3% yesterday. You'd barely notice it. It has been treading water for quite a while now, and it is technically still on a buy signal. Then Dow Chemical, of course, it has been on a sell signal for the month of October and continued to move lower on Monday. Then the next big loser was United Healthcare. It's been on a sell signal for most of October, so no change there. Looking at the S&P 500, we did dip below Thursday's low, but we did not close below it, so still waiting for that to happen. Mosaic was the big winner yesterday on the S&P 500, trading back up to the highs from back in August. It looks like you got a couple of lines filled yesterday. We opened at 28.39, so your 28.13 order would have got filled at the open, and then later in the day, if you had an order in up there around 28.91, that also got filled. Now, Boeing was up yesterday. It's up in the pre-market this morning. It's got some positive union news out today. Then looking at Enphase, it is back on a buy signal as of Monday's close. So if you were short Enphase and you got some shares left outstanding, you need to buy those back at the open. We're trying to get over 87.50, closed at 87.46 yesterday. You can see just above that level, we've got an open gap. If we could take that out, then $100 would certainly be a realistic target. $100 acted as a support back in the summer. We would expect it to act as resistance on the way back up. There's Constellation Energy dropping sharply yesterday. So if you were short that stock and trying to buy back shares at $250, well, congratulations. You got to buy them back at $232.50 yesterday morning at the open. You can see the top of the open gap did not act as support, so that's not a good sign. 218.75 is our next target to the downside. Public service dropped sharply yesterday, and if you were short that stock, congratulations, you hit 2 price targets in one day, so that was a good day for you. Now, looking at the NASDAQ 100 and the NASDAQ, both are still trading within Thursday's trading range, so that we have not broken out of that range just yet. Big winner on the NASDAQ yesterday was Monster, but it's already ranked at 10, so not something I would chase up here. We certainly have targets above where we've been trading. If we can take out the October high, you can look 2 lines up, and that's our trading range. But again, not something I would chase as we're already ranked at 10. Looking at Cadence, it traded back up to last week's high yesterday. And then an interesting couple of days for Charter. Look at the big bar that we had last Thursday. Traded right down, sitting on the lower channel line. Then on Friday, we came back sharply. And then on Monday, we traded within Friday's trading range, but still closed higher on the day. So congratulations. We're sitting right on the 375 level, closed at 375.83 yesterday. You can look 2 lines up, but then you can also look back to what happened in July. So we're trading right back up to those July highs, and they are currently holding us in check. Now, ARMS was a big loser yesterday, down nearly 3% on the day, breaking down below the previous week's low. And then Tesla's back on a sell signal as of Monday's close, closing just below the lower channel line there. So Tesla, one of the Magnificent Seven stocks, back on a sell signal. Now, just like its U.S. counterparts, the TSX 60 still trading within last Thursday's trading range, so no change there. The big winner yesterday was Nutrien, popping on the day up over 4.5%. Synovus was another big winner. It's certainly not changing trend as of Monday's close. And then Brookfield Asset Management making a new high for this move on Monday. What didn't work? Well, BCE, we kind of thought that was going to happen. From what we're hearing in the pre-market yesterday morning, it was already on a sell signal, so no change in trend there. Of course, if you're short BCE, you probably want to buy back some of your short position on Tuesday morning. Then Cameco still on a sell signal, no change there. And OpenText continuing to move lower, making a new low, heading down towards those lows from the start of August. Then looking at the TSX itself, still trading within last Thursday's trading range. And of course, the TSX composite stocks have more volatility than the TSX 60 stocks. So there's Tilray up nearly 5% on the day, still on a buy signal, no change there. Nice update for Baytech, continuing to move higher. It generated a buy signal as of Friday's close. And then we've got Meg Energy back on a buy signal as of Monday's close. What didn't work? Well, Bosch, after making a new high, had an inside day yesterday, so no change in trend there. We also saw a big reversal for Fairfax after making a new high on Friday. We had an inside day on Monday. Let's finish off this morning's presentation looking at some commodity prices, starting with crude oil. Crude oil was trading up in the pre-market yesterday. It held those gains going into the close, so it's back on a buy signal. Big reversal day for natural gas, making a new low for this move, then closing higher on the day. Still on a sell signal, unfortunately. Now we've got copper back on a buy signal as of Monday's close. That could certainly help some mining stocks. Gold was down yesterday, but not enough to give us a sell signal, and it's reversing that. What was sold off yesterday is being bought back in the pre-market this morning. And then silver, unfortunately, is on its third day of a sell signal, so no change for the price of silver. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. So far, it looks pretty quiet out there this morning. Not expecting a lot of volatility on election day. You have a good day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Wednesday morning.